The importance of women in karate. Ing Mui. Shaolin Temple. These facts are important as this is the first and only documented woman who was single-handedly responsible for creating a unique style of martial art that centered on the ability for women to be able to defeat bigger and stronger opponents, or as time has progressed, for anyone who is smaller to take on someone who is bigger and stronger. Ing Mui chose to become a nun in the 17th century and took up residency in the Shaolin Temple, the birthplace of all martial arts styles. After being burned down, Ing was the only nun to escape. She was one of the 5 elders and one of only 5 to ever master all of the chambers within the temple. After the escape of the temple, Ing made her way to a mountaintop where she reflected on her martial arts knowledge. Legend says that while walking in the woods one day, Ing came upon a stork and a large rodent fighting. She was intrigued at how the stork used both its wings and legs to deflect and counterattack at the same time. Much of what she had been taught up until then was ineffective for a woman. Inspired, Ing created a fast, effective technique that relied on the body structure of power, simultaneous defense and attack, and angle, distance, and redirection of the opponent's energy instead of strength. What we now know today as Wing Chun. Wing Chun was named after Ing Mui's protege and inspiration for her martial arts style. The International Wing Chun Academy was founded by Grandmaster Jim Fung, aka Saifu Jim, and it is still in production today. Grandmaster Fung was a student of Chu Shongten, who was a closed-door student of Yip Man. Yip inspired many of the practices that we see today as well. Influential women in martial arts. Elizabeth Wilkinson. She was one of the first female athletes in London in the 17th century. She was famous for boxing, bare knuckle boxing. Meenakshi Gurukul. At the age of 76, she is still teaching Kalarippayattu, a martial art form that was almost extinct due to the European colonization. She wanted to ensure that the art was not lost, and because of her efforts, it has not been. Edith Margaret Garrett. In 1899, she and her husband were introduced to jiu-jitsu. She and her husband eventually became the owner and manager of the school that they attended. Garrett became the instructor for the women's and children's classes, making her one of the first professional female martial arts instructors. She also trained a group known as the Bodyguard. The Bodyguard was to protect protest leaders from law enforcement. Angela Overkill Hill. Still fighting today, Angela did not even start fighting until after she graduated college. Once she started with kickboxing, she realized that it would pay the bills. Next thing she knew, she had won 6 kickboxing fights. She was then pursued and moved on to MMA. Her skills garnered the attention of the UFC, who then selected her as one of their contenders. You can still see her in the UFC today.